Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today. And today I want to start off on this 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin because we beautifully saw this bullish divergence play out on the 1 hour time frame, which is when you have lower lows in the Bitcoin price and higher lows in the RSI momentum indicator. If you watched yesterday's video, you know that this is exactly something that I told you to look out for in the charts because we were already making this lower low in the price. And therefore I said, if we now get a higher low in the RSI momentum indicator, then this is what we call a bullish divergence. And we should expect a break from all of this bearish price action that we saw here recently, and should therefore either expect some choppy sideways price action or potentially some bullish momentum in the short term. And if you take a look at this 1 hour time frame, we have seen nothing but upside ever since this bullish divergence actually confirmed. Now, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this 1 hour time frame, and then I will move on to what I think is happening next for Bitcoin here. So first of all, if we take a look at the 1 hour RSI for Bitcoin, this is now into deep overbought territories. And usually what this means is that there is limited room to the upside in the immediate short term here for Bitcoin. So over the next 24 to 48 hours here for Bitcoin, we should expect this RSI to reset back down to around this 50 level. And in the case that you are not familiar with how this actually works, the way the RSI resets to the downside is either by some choppy sideways price action or potentially some bearish momentum in the short term here. So yes, we could see a little bit more upside in the immediate short term, but I am expecting at the same time that we should start to see the price cool off a little bit here sometime soon. Now moving on to the 4 hour time frame for Bitcoin, because as you can see right here, we are now bouncing from this big level of support sitting from 62.4K all the way down to 60,000 US dollars. And as you can see right here, right now, we are actually bouncing above this level of support. Besides that, on this 4 hour time frame, you can also see that right here, we actually have another bullish divergence here in the chart. So we have lower lows in the Bitcoin price and higher lows in the RSI momentum indicator. So again, usually the way a bullish divergence actually plays out is that we should expect a break from all of this bearish momentum, and therefore should be expecting either some choppy sideways price action or some bullish momentum in the short term. So with that in mind, what are some of the key levels of resistance you should be paying attention to in the charts right now? Well, on this 4 hour time frame, so over the next week or so, we should pay attention to this level of resistance sitting at about 64.3K for the Bitcoin price. Do keep in mind that there are some levels of resistance in between, but I will get to that in just a second. So 64.3K, and then above that, we have this big level of resistance sitting from 65,000 all the way up to 66,000 US dollars. And taking a look at these Fibonacci levels then for Bitcoin, we just bounced perfectly from this 0.5 level sitting at 59.5K for the Bitcoin price. And I love how this actually played out because this is one of the key levels that I've been talking about over the last couple of days or so, saying that we should expect some support here in the short term. Now, just a couple of hours ago, we actually broke above this 0.382 Fibonacci level sitting at 61.2K. And a level of resistance that we are about to run into is this 0.236 Fibonacci level sitting at 63.3K for the Bitcoin price. So if you now see a continuation to the upside and we actually reach this level here, especially considering that we are in overbought conditions here on this 1 hour time frame, then do expect some kind of short-term resistance here. By that, I also mean be careful opening up long positions into this level of resistance in the short term, but that is of course not financial advice. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing in the charts, and you can do with that information what you like. Now, besides that, actually one of the key levels of resistance that we are currently trading right around is this Fibonacci golden pocket sitting between 62K and 62.7K for the Bitcoin price, which is a good thing to see, especially if we now close this candle above. But considering that we are in overbought conditions here on that 1 hour time frame, it is not impossible to think that, yeah, sometime soon we should expect the price to kind of cool off. And therefore, I am expecting that we either just see some choppy sideways price action inside this Fibonacci golden pocket, which would be the ideal situation if we kind of move above here just a little bit further, and then we're chopping around just above or just inside this Fibonacci golden pocket. So that is something that I'm looking out for in the charts right now. But now actually, let's talk about what I think is going to happen next for the Bitcoin price. Well, if you have been following my channel for some time, you know that basically over the weekend, usually we just see some choppy sideways price action. And what we see right here is a perfect example of that. This was actually over the weekend where we have very low volatility and very low volume in the market. And this is quite normal to see in the charts. And what I am expecting over the weekend will happen. Now, the only thing that would really change my expectations here is if we see some kind of major news event actually play out over the weekend, because obviously this could impact the markets, but this is not something that I can predict ahead of time. So therefore, my base case expectation is that we are just going to chop sideways over the weekend. Moving on to this Bitcoin liquidation heat map, first of all, on the 2-week time frame. And this is also something beautiful that I've been talking about over the last week or so, where I was saying, yeah, we have this big level of liquidity at about 59.7K for the Bitcoin price. And especially if you watched yesterday's video, I talked about this big level here, saying if we actually sweep this level here, then look for a potential reversal in the charts, because that is exactly what these Bitcoin liquidation heat maps can be used for. And what did we actually see? Well, we swept this big level of liquidity and then perfectly reversed back to the upside, now taking out a bunch of liquidity at 63K. And as you can see on this 2-week time frame, most of the liquidity is actually sitting at 64.9K for the Bitcoin price. So for now, this is looking like a potential price target for Bitcoin in this coming week here, especially if we start chopping around above that Fibonacci golden pocket. Lastly, taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. On Thursday, we saw another small outflow of about $81 million. But as I have been saying over the last couple of days here, anything below 100 million is just, it's very small volume. So it isn't really impacting the markets too much. And therefore, there isn't simply too much to say about this. What I'm looking out for with these Bitcoin ETF flow tables is actually to see a massive spike in volume, because sometimes this is a signal that the market is ready to reverse either back to the downside or back to the upside, depending on what kind of trend we are in at the time, of course. But for now, this isn't really telling us too much. They are just very small in and outflows. So this has been today's market update. Don't forget to check out my free trading course if you want to learn that technical analysis that I use in my videos every single day here. Or if you've already seen this free trading course or you're simply not interested in it, I also have a free trading group on Discord, which I highly recommend you guys join, because I think this might be one of the most active trading Discords inside the crypto space right now. So definitely come check this out. It is a very active group with close to 2,000 members that are actively trading crypto every single day. So if you want to read their analysis or simply chat along with them about crypto and what you think is going to happen next, I highly recommend you guys join this server here. It is also completely free. Regardless, if you do end up checking out those free resources or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.